The foundation is one of the most important elements of your home build, and there are some crucial steps to be aware of. Once we finally decided on a slab foundation, because concrete was so darn expensive, we wanted to make sure we got everything right, and we almost didn't.
The first step after you grade is to set your foundation, and what we typically do is we'll put wood around the perimeter of the house.
And your concrete company does that, right?
Your concrete company will do that.
But since we're doing a slab, we just had this perimeter of wood, and then Michael went around and measured it all to make sure that they had gotten the measurements correct, because you know, it's your foundation. If you have any mistakes, it's your foundation.
Exactly. And so after that's all done, you'll call your plumber, your electrician, or any utilities that are going to go underneath the concrete. And it's very important. So on ours, because it's a slab, the pipes and the electrical conduit, that's all running underneath the poured concrete. So you want to make sure you get that right before you pour.
Yeah, because what happens if you lay the concrete and it's in the wrong place?
Well, you get to meet your friend Jack. His last name is Hammer, and he's not a great guy, and he costs you money every time you use him.
I don't think he's a bad guy. I just think he's loud and obnoxious.
Yeah, exactly.
Once we had the plumber come out, and Michael ran the couple of pipes for electrical.
Yeah, I ran the conduit. It wasn't much, yeah.
We came back over after the plumber was here, and we realized we already had a mistake. Our shower drain was in our master bedroom, so let's take a look at that.
So we stumbled across this when we were just seeing how big our bedroom was going to be, and we realized our shower, although it would be convenient, was actually in our bedroom by about 2.5 feet.
No, so you can see, point out where the, so that's the wall to the bedroom, bathroom. So you can see how far in that little stake is.
Yeah, so the wall is right here, and it goes over, and that's the bedroom. Kind of comes out a little bit past that wall there. And really the shower drain should be right in this area here, across from the toilet.
And we apologize for Dansby's mouthiness. So then I noticed our powder room was in our entry foyer. So it just looked off, and it actually seemed like, I kept thinking that the kitchen seemed too small, and it turned out that the powder room, which is behind us, it was shifted over that way too much. And so our kitchen felt really small. So we figured that out before the concrete was laid, and the plumber had to come back out to not only fix the drain that was in our master bedroom, but to redo the pipes in the wall. Can they see in the wall behind?
So this wall here goes.
Yeah, those pipes. So we had to do a little fixing there.
So after all your utilities are in under, that are going to go under your slab, your plumbing, your electrical, what have you, then the concrete contractor typically will come back out, and he's going to dig the footers. So the footers are essentially, they support the weight of the house. So you have the footers, which are usually on the perimeter of the house, which capture the roof load and the weight of the house on the outside. And then you have what's called gray beams, which is another form of footers, and it's usually interior of the house, and it carries floor load typically.
Okay, so let's not get too nerdy on them. So after that happens, we had another problem.
Yeah.
We realized another problem, and this was that the toilet, and again, this powder room, so the toilet was actually too far into the powder room. It was supposed to be back here. So check out this video where we show you up close exactly what happened there. But this is where our toilet's going to be in this powder room. This is the fan pipe, the vent pipe. And then this is the framed wall. Well, there's another framed wall behind it. And the reason why there's another framed wall behind it is because the plumber messed up his measurements. So this is the powder room, and it's very, very small. So the way it was designed is that you come in the door, and this right here was supposed to be the wall for the powder room. So this was supposed to be the vanity, which would have been really tiny, and then there, over there, would have been your toilet. So we lost 12 or 14 inches that way, which it's already a small powder room. So we have an alcove here. So again, this is where the wall would have been in the powder room. Well, this right here was supposed to be a closet for the front room, AKA Megan's office. I meant to tell Michael that I didn't think we needed that closet there. Number one, it would be considered a bedroom, which would have increased our taxes. But number two, I just didn't need a tiny, I mean, it would have been a small closet, you know, like what do I can do a built-in in there eventually. So we decided to close this door opening up. Now our vanity is gonna go here. So you can see the original piping was gonna run right there. But now they've had to run it over here because our vanity is going to be in here.
And it was good that we caught it before they poured the concrete. It's always good to catch it before they pour the concrete.
And since we didn't need that closet in the office anyway, we got a bigger powder room, which I think we needed. I was really nervous about that powder room being too small anyway, so.
It was very tight. It was going to be basically a pedestal sink and a toilet in the corner, and now we can actually put a real vanity and a real, you know, have a real powder room.
So next is the big day, the actual pour, and I couldn't be, oh, I just hit my mic. I couldn't be here that day because I think I had Bible study like an hour away. So Michael got this video and it's glorious. So, but the pour went well. The pour.
Yeah, we did.
Well.
We had one little hiccup, but that was fixed within minutes, and it was great.
Michael was in his truck working his day job the whole time, and got this video, and I got to see it once it was done, and we were pretty good.
Yeah.
But then the framers came. And we realized we had more problems because it's home building, and it wouldn't be home building without problems, right?
That's right. So one of the things we found is that over, and you can't see it, it's over in this corner in our on our pantry outside wall.
We'll do a close-up.
Yeah, it had it was too small by about 4.5 inches.
The slab. So the slab didn't come out far enough, and the framers realized that.
Correct.
But while the other thing was the front porch.
Right. So the front porch, we all love big porches, right? Big, wide, long porches. We had a really big, wide, long porch, and that porch was too big because it wasn't what they call covered under the roof. So the way our roof line worked, we would have had 4 foot each side of our porch roof
hanging out from underneath
concrete.
The porch.
And there's, you know, nothing to support it above. So they had to come out and saw cut it, and they had to bust up the concrete and haul it off. And they did a really good job though, and you can't really tell.
Yeah, but of course, thrifty Theo over here, that's my new name. I'm like, that's like 8 feet of concrete that we paid for that was just wasted. So they did a very nice job, as you can see, of making it look seamless, but we wasted all that concrete. You know how they say measure twice, cut once? I say measure like 10 times.
When it comes to concrete, and pouring your foundation, it is very important that you don't just let that, you know, be a write-in that you just, you know, phone it in. You want to be there. You want to make, especially if you're self-building and you're self-contracting like we are, you want to make sure you've got the big tape measure out and you're checking all your measurements, because
be that annoying homeowner that is checking and checking and checking. While I thought these were huge mistakes and I was freaking out, especially when we found out that like the powder room was so off and all of that stuff, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. And I've seen other people who've had way worse problems. So I think that it wasn't that big of a deal. One thing I wish I knew, so get your notepad out and write this down. Have an idea for what can be done with the overage. So I'm looking right now and I can see overage spilled out across our yard, and they spilled it out everywhere. We'll show you all of the piles of overage that when they're done with the concrete, Michael said, well, they can't like just ride around with it because they don't want it to.
It'll set up. So what they'll do is they'll pour off the sludge, because the minute that concrete leaves the plant and it's in the turning truck, it's curing. So
it's on like a timer, right?
Yeah, it's on a timer. So when they pour and they've got, they typically empty the truck. Well, they've got, the leftover sludge still in there, and they'll pour that out and hose it down.
And they got to pour it out so it doesn't harden in the truck, right?
Correct.
So
It'll damage the truck.
Pour it all over your property. And if I had seen this great video by Mason Dixon Acres, they are self-building as well. They were geniuses. He created like just some square forms that he wanted to use for pavers. So we had them pour the overage in there. And I was like, oh, well, I already have piles of dried concrete all around my yard, so I can't do that.
That's an excellent idea, actually. It's pretty ingenious.
Really,
yeah,
really smart. So
now you will, guys, if you do that, don't just say, hey, pour it there and let it be. You will have to work the concrete. Otherwise, you'll just end up with rocky concrete.
Yeah.
So if you've built, or if you're building your dream home, put in the comments any surprises you might have had on your project. We love those comments. Your comments, your likes, your subscriptions really help our channel.
Yeah, and they make us really happy. So we love having y'all here. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time.